Okay, I'm aware that not a lot of the people watching this video, or at least at first, like the first people that are seeing this video, are probably not going to be sensing dominant types, but what I want this video to be is just like the previous three videos where I gave like a brief overview of how you can identify people based on their dominant function. I want this video to be a sane approach to the sensing types because there's a lot of people that aren't sensing types describing sensation and how to identify a sensation dominant person on YouTube, but a lot of them are kind of ridiculous. So this is going to be hopefully a more down to earth and sane version. So we're going to start with the extroverted sensation type, and we can use the example of, say, running a race, like a race in track, like say you're running the 100-meter dash, okay? So for an SE dominant person, sensation is oriented towards the object. Okay, so in this example, we can use the sensation of sight, right? So your sense perception of sight determines for you, if you're watching the race, who's the winner of the race. Okay, so an SE dominant person, everything is subordinated to their objective sensation, all right? So they're going to be the type that in a social situation, say you're at a track meet or you're watching a sporting event, they're the type that's most confident in their apprehension of the concrete facts about their immediate surroundings, in this case, the race. Let's also say that during the race, like there's a 100-meter dash, and two people come very close to the finish line at the same time. The dominant extroverted sensation types that were watching the event at that time are going to be the people that are most confident in their apprehension of the situation and what actually happened. So, in other words, you can say they're going to be the people that are the most confident in who they think the winner of the race is, even if it was very close. And notice this is different from thinking. There's no analysis that needs to go into this decision of who is the winner of the race, because you already know the winner of the race is the person who you see cross the finish line first. So it's a sensation of seeing the person cross the finish line that determines who the winner is. And there's no qualitative judgment, so it's not feeling, and there's no speculation, so we know there's no intuition. You don't have to intuit who the winner of the race is. All you have to do is see who crosses the finish line first. And for someone that is sensation dominant, so someone that is extroverted sensation dominant, where all their other functions are subordinated to extroverted sensation, that means that even their thinking function is subordinated to sensation. So they may trust their visual perception of seeing the two people crossing the finish line about at the same time. They might say, okay, well, I saw contestant X hit the finish line before contestant Y. So whereas a thinking type dominant person might say, okay, maybe we have to analyze this. Maybe we have to go to the tape, and we have to go do some analysis, and we have to we have to look at the stopwatch, and we have to check that with the tape, and then we'll figure it out. The sensation dominant type might say, okay, well, I mean, that's all fine if you want to go and do that, but I already saw that contestant X was the winner over contestant Y. I've seen it, so I don't need to check the tape. I don't need to do any analysis because I've already determined that with my eyes. So in the same situation, you could say that an extroverted sensation dominant type person is likely to go against other subjective sensation that doesn't agree with what they see as reality. And I'm going to end this because I've already been talking about extroverted sensation a lot, but you could say maybe there's somebody who really values introverted sensation, and they have a great inner sensation. They have a great feeling because, and it's not, I don't mean qualitative, like it's not introverted feeling. It's like an inner sensation. So they might feel great internally because they've been trying out a new diet and a new exercise regimen that got them a personal best. Whereas the extroverted sensation dominant is saying, okay, none of that matters. I'm trying to get you to see the reality that you lost the race. Whereas the introverted sensation person is like, well, who cares? I got my own personal best, and my body feels great because I've been working out a new way.
I blur that line by design. And the fact of the matter is, when I'm angry on TV, I'm actually not. I'm manipulating you as an owner, and I'm going to do it 4 different ways. First thing I do is I appeal to your pride. You want to be successful. How does it feel to be successful? And hopefully I can inspire you to change. If that doesn't work, then I'll appeal to your family. What's going to happen if you can't take care of your kids? Picture your kids, picture your wife. I try to get you to do it for them if you won't do it for yourself. Third is fear.
You are drunk by almost 3 times.
Yeah.
So you're busted.
I'm busted.
Now I'm down to my second to last option. How does it feel when you lose your house? What are you going to do when you have nothing? How are you going to feed your family? Now I've played pride, the family route, and fear. When that's over, now it's boot camp time. Now I have no choice but to beat the hell out of you. Because I have 5 days to change your life, and the fact is you're counting on it.
Introverted sensation, on the other hand, is oriented towards the subject, and for an introverted sensation dominant person, everything is subordinated, or all of their functions are subordinated to subjective sensation rather than objective sensation. And for an introverted sensation dominant person, they're the type that's the most confident in their personal relation to concrete facts about their immediate surroundings. So how to put that into an example could be like, if you're hungry or thirsty, there's probably some personal preferences you have that go past the bare minimum. Or let's say if you're tired, you could technically sleep on the ground outside, but you'd probably prefer to sleep inside in your bed rather than outside, even though you technically could sleep outside just fine. So someone that's introverted sensation dominant is going to have a lot of discernment in their personal preference with regard to sensations like this. So their diet, or what they like to have in terms of interior design in their house, or like choice of clothing, anything that's sensory. So this could be a ton of different things. I'm just giving a few examples, but they have a lot of confidence in their preferences there. So in a social situation, with that being said, if you're trying to identify somebody and you're like, okay, I can't tell if this person's an extroverted sensor or an introverted sensor, and there's like a bunch of people around, they're likely to go against others' objective sensation that doesn't agree with what they see as like good taste. And good taste when it pertains to something sensory. And it's not like, okay, it seems tricky the way I'm presenting it, because it's not like the person's going to come out and say, okay, well, I don't like your taste in XYZ. That's not what I'm saying here. They don't have to say that. It's just that you'll notice that. So we can go back to the 100-meter dash example. Say there's a runner, an extroverted sensation dominant runner, and they train a certain way and they eat a certain way so that when they run the race, they usually win. They usually cross the finish line first. But after the race, they fall out and they feel terrible and their body gives way or something like that. So say they hire an introverted sensation dominant trainer. The introverted sensation dominant trainer might be like, okay, well, it's in very poor taste for you to win the race and then need a stretcher after you win the race because your body's giving out because you're not training a certain way. How about we train you so that you're not passing out after the race? How about we change your diet so that you feel better? Technically, you don't have to train so that you don't feel like crap after the race, but it is, in that person's personal preference, it is good taste to not pass out after the race.
Back of your head down to the neck, into your limbs, into your legs, and it's sometimes so overpowering, but it's very pleasant. It's a euphoric feeling.
Her service is free to her more than 300,000 subscribers, but she's not the only one online doing this. She's just the most popular. Some fans telling her they sleep to her voice, others thanking her for squeezing the stress out of their lives, people she don't even know relying on her.
From the very moment that I found out about ASMR, I figured that it's going to be my destiny to try and bring awareness about it into the public.
Maria says she's even used her own videos to calm herself during frustrating moments. And it's helped, she says. Advice she wanted to share to Skin fans who've suffered so much this season.
I just tell them, take a deep breath, relax. Everything will be fine. Everything will be okay. It's just a time right now like that. Everything will go away.